Do you know the ratio of positive to negative interactions that happen in your school? If not, you absolutely should. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to back it up with research from a couples counseling researcher, therapist person. I'm really excited for this particular idea, but also specific steps in a process that I'm going to share with you. I think it's been talked about a lot in spaces like couples counseling and interpersonal relationships, but I want to extend it to classrooms, schools, and districts. Here we go. Let's take a look at the union meeting. And I'm just pulling from an article from this lovely individual who talks about all of this. Okay, here we go. So a State of the Union meeting ideally happens regularly in an interpersonal relationship. I think it can happen regularly in a team and in a school, team in a district, a student classroom, also one-on-one interactions at the student staff level, any of those. So here is the structure. You are responsible for kind of taking that and running with it and thinking about how to apply it in your spaces. So give one another 5 appreciations. So this idea of 5-to-1 ratio comes from research that says healthy relationships have a positivity to negativity ratio of 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction. So in the first thing you do in this State of the Union meeting, when you're just assessing the situation for the week or whatever, you share 5 things that your partner did or team members did, right? Think about however this translates for you, that you appreciated. And you be really specific. And I have a specific resource that I'll link in the description of this video to like what positive traits, for example, you might share. Then you talk about what went right in the relationship. So you are talking about what you are working on, what's improving, what's getting better, what's doing good, right? Like again, positive. Then you select an issue to talk about or process. If there was a regrettable incident, like talk about it, right? And that's when you bring it up after you've had these 5 appreciations and you have talked about what went right this week or this time point, however often you're having these meetings. That's when you do this. And you have some things that you think about, right? So they use the acronym ATTUNE, so you are awareness. So we're really practicing empathy of the other individual or individuals, if you're using it at the team level, feelings and experience, right? You're recognizing that there are 2 different valid viewpoints. So this idea of, I don't love the word tolerance, but acceptance, perhaps, I think it just didn't fit the acronym. You're turning toward, so this person, whoever it is in your relationship or your team is opening up and being vulnerable with you. You turn toward them, you accept that bid for connection, and you turn toward them, you attempt to understand, you listen without being defensive, which is super hard, especially in conflict. And then you have empathy, right? Understanding, awareness, sensitivity to their experience and their needs. So this really builds on a lot of things we've talked about before in previous videos and just things in general about restorative practices and culture building. And then the final one, what can I do next week to make you feel more loved? So you can use the same question with your school, teams, individuals, classes. You can also just be like, to make you feel better if love feels really uncomfortable. I think we should say love more in school in general, but think about like, what is the next step? So we're leaving with an action step and it comes from the individuals in your community. So it's up to you how you want to use the State of the Union meeting. Do you want to start each team meeting or PLC with a State of the Union? Do you want to start each student conference with a State of the Union? Do you want to do family meetings with a State of the Union? Like what has been going well? First, let's keep that 5-to-1 positivity to negativity ratio, and let's always be mindful of how we can embed things like this using a strategy like State of the Union or a million others that you could probably think of in your schools, in your classrooms, in your district as a whole.